Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and welcome to another edition of What's in the Bag, Jay? Now, this is a segment where I take 6 movies from my collection that I haven't watched, write their names on a piece of paper, throw them in the bag, draw one out at random, and do a short review. Now, if the one I pick is not your favorite, you're definitely more than welcome to vote for that movie to come back in, and I will definitely take it under consideration. Speaking of which, the movies that are returning based on the votes this week are The Endless, The Last Lovecraft, Relic of Cthulhu, and Antidote. Now, from my Freddy vs. Jason die, we have Stripperland and Never Cry Werewolf. And making its debut this week is Wither. Now, this is an art exploitation film I've heard a lot of good things about, so I'm very eager to watch it. So, I'm going to take the pieces of paper, throw them in the bag, while I encourage you guys to vote if it doesn't get picked. Let's see, we're going to give the bag a good tussle. Let's see what we got here. Antidote. Alright, Lauren. You've been wanting me to do a review on Antidote, so here we go. I'm going to put this aside while I put these movies side by side like I always do. I'm going to take my Freddy vs. Jason die, put it in my red Solo cup, shake it up, and we have 4. Bye-bye red Solo cup, and I'm going to choose 4 pieces of paper from the bag, and those are the ones that are going to come back this next week. If you don't see the one that you like, definitely vote for it, and I will take it under consideration. So let's see. First we have Wither. Let's see. Never Cry Werewolf. The Endless. It's over here. And lastly, Stripperland. So, The Last Relic of Cthulhu has been, voted out. Do you guys still want to see me review that? Or still want it back in the 6 film lineup? Definitely vote. I'm now going to go take a look at Antidote and come back with a short review. Later. Well, I'm back. I just watched Antidote, and here are my thoughts. Antidote is a 2013 film, which runs approximately 78 minutes, and is written and directed by Craig and Pete DeFalco. Now, the only thing I could find was Craig had done 2 other movies, The Last Days of August and iChannel. Pete DeFalco did some production work and worked in some crews on movies, but no kind of directing or anything. Now, this has a very, very small cast. Kate Flanagan plays Teresa. She was in Irrational Man and The Letter. Michael, and I'm going to try to pronounce his last name, Zaquirdo, plays Matthew. He was in iChannel, Taking Woodstock, The Last Days of August, and Wolf of Wall Street. And finally, Matthew Rausch, who plays the Stranger. He was in Frankenfish, Girls Against Boys, and The Tale. Now, this has been in the lineup for quite some time, And thank you so much to Lauren's Collections, because it stayed in the lineup and I actually got to watch it and review it. I'd gotten a couple comments that this movie was terrible, so I looked on IMDb, and it rated a 4.5, which I think is criminally underrated for this movie. And I looked at some of the reviews on IMDb, and they said it was very slow. And it is a slow movie. It is a slow burn. But unlike Haunted Highway, and yes, I'm mentioning it again, where it was terrible, and the guy who was the main character didn't really have the goods to pull off the film. The two main characters in this film, Teresa and Matthew, actually do. It's extremely well acted. It is like I said, it is a slow burn, but it's not like nothing happens. I'm going to give you a very small plot synopsis on this, because there's not really a lot to this movie. I just find it to be a very creative idea. There is a disease going around which is almost like a flesh-eating virus. And it's basically airborne, and you can spread it through different ways. You basically get a scratch and you're done. Now, they don't go into as much detail about the explanation as I would like. And then there's a second part of it where there is an antidote, but the antidote turns you stark raving mad. And it doesn't always work to clear up the disease in the first place. And yes, one of my downers is that it doesn't explain it very well. But in today's society, and this I found kind of worked with me a little bit, it didn't bother me as much because we have a lot of things that happen in today's society that largely go unanswered, as far as like diseases and strains of the flu and stuff like that. So it's almost like you're in the middle of this disease with the two people. And you don't have a whole lot of explanation, but you're trying to figure out how to, remedy the situation. And I thought it worked. A lot of people tend not to like this film. And at first glance, when I look at the cover and I look at the back cover, it seems like a very generic zombie movie. But I'm going to be honest with you, it is very far from that. Like I said, I thought the acting was great. The practical effects were really good. And I liked it. I thought it was a pretty good movie. So thank you, Lauren, for suggesting this and voting for it to come back, because I'm really glad I watched it. Now, this movie was made for $100,000. It's very low budget, but it doesn't look very low budget. And I think how they got away with that is they're basically in one setting the entire time. It's the basement of a house. And the cast is very, very small. As a matter of fact, there's only one other actor in the film, and she had a very bit part, so I didn't really include her in the casting credits and all. But extremely small cast, extremely low budget. It is a slow burn, but if you don't mind it being a different idea as far as like a typical disease sort of zombie movie, I think you might get some real enjoyment out of this. I did. I thought it was fun. I don't know if it's something I'm going to go back and watch often, but I'm definitely glad I have it in my collection. So, have you seen Antidote? What did you think? Definitely comment below and let me know. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.